Right, interesting one for you today, because if you are new to the channel, then you won't know I actually own an all-electric car. It's a Porsche Taycan, and I don't think electric cars are fit for purpose, and I've lost so much money on this car, it basically is worthless, which is what we're going to get down to today. So if you're new to the channel, do hit the subscribe button, click the little bell for notifications, give it a thumbs up, and share this video so that nobody else makes the same mistake as I do purchasing an electric car, because it will devalue. It will cost you an absolute fortune. We're going to get down to facts and figures. I've done two costings before, about 6 months ago and also last month, and I've done another one today, and you won't believe how much this car is worth now. Basically, it's scrap value, and we're going to get down to that in a moment. So without further ado, my friends, let's go. Right, so let's get down to business. First things first, as I've said, I've done quite a few of these videos now on how much an electric car costs. I've even riled up Quentin Wilson, ex-Top Gear presenter from many moons ago, before the show got good, and he says that electric cars are cheaper than equivalent petrol or diesel cars. What he's actually not getting into is the actual price of them after so long. The depreciation on these cars are astronomical. Now that is down to a number of factors, one of them being the battery, because who wants to buy a used second-hand EV? Because the battery is degrading all the time, a little bit like mobile phones, etc. They degrade, the batteries degrade. They're a throwaway disposable item, and that is why it's not a good idea to purchase an electric car. I'm going to get down to figures. I'm going to pull over in a moment, and we're going to go through the figures of what I was offered 6 months ago, and also last month, and then now this month. And believe me, it is unbelievable. It's quite sickening. It's made me feel a little bit sick to my stomach, to be honest. I'll also tell you exactly what I owe on this car as well, as of today, and we'll go through that, and also what Porsche offered me. And you won't believe this, they don't actually want it. The only way that Porsche will take it back is in part exchange for another electric car. So what I'm left with is basically a white elephant. Anyway, come on, onwards. Now, what gets me with electric cars, electric vehicles, EVs, whatever you want to call them, is that dealerships at the moment are having to sell 1 in 5 of their cars. They have to sell an EV, otherwise they will get fined. Now, I know this because I did a video the other day up at Raymouth Skoda, and he gave us sort of like figures, etc., and he says they have to sell a certain percentage. And what car manufacturers are actually doing to try and adhere to this silly rule that the governments have brought in, otherwise they get fined, is pre-register their EVs. So there's a load of cars that they're pre-registering to make it look as though they're actually selling and putting the sales through of EVs. We're being pushed these stupid cars upon us because the governments are saying that we need to have and drive an electric vehicle, and by 2035 it's game over unless we do something about it. And that's why with these videos I'm hoping to show you exactly what it's like, a real world view on what it's like to own an electric car. And believe me, if you purchase one, you are going to regret it, because the amount of money that you're going to lose on it is astronomical. It's unbelievable, and I can't believe that they're actually pushing this agenda out. So anyway, don't worry, we're going to get to the facts and figures. I just need to pull over and charge up because I'm going on a journey. I'm going to have to charge up about 4 times today. I'm doing a video which you can see in the future of charging, driving from London to Harrogate using only the Tesla charging network in a non-Tesla car. So that's going to be quite interesting, because everybody says should have got a Tesla, should have got a Tesla, even though now that Tesla are actually laying people off, and they've also laid off their supercharge network. The guy who's in charge of that laid him off as well. Obviously not doing as well as they make out, are they? Right, here we are, milk float off. Let's get out, charge this car up and go through the facts and figures, which are a little bit shocking. I have to say, by the way, I always feel a little uneasy around Tesla owners, because if they know who I am, they know that I don't like Teslas. They're the kind of people that like to smear themselves in Bovril and get their dog to lick it off. Come on. Right, okay, are you sitting comfortably, and have you got your pens and your pencils and your calculators together? Because you can work this one out for me and let me know how much it's depreciating per month, because I'll go through the facts and figures now. So basically, the initial cost of the car, in case you didn't know, was £120,000. That's with all the extras that I had added onto the car. I had extra brakes and special brakes, etc. Passenger screen. So it's my fault that it's probably depreciated a little bit more than I actually wanted it to. However, still, electric cars, massive depreciation. So let's go through the facts and figures. In August 2023, I owed on this car, because it's financed, £80,476. And at that time, Porsche valued at it £60,000. That was as trade-in. So if I traded the car in for another car. And I also got a valuation off of We Buy Any Car. Now remember, We Buy Any Car give you a price on screen, and it is never that, because you always get there and We Buy Any Car go round, and you know what they do? Ooh, little mark there, and ooh, you know, little ding there, and ooh, look at the wheel there. They always come up with some garbage, and that's what We Buy Any Car do. So they're renowned for that. So anyway, they offered me £53,235. So there we go on that one. That was August 2023. Now we fast forward to March 2024. The outstanding balance on the car of March 2024 was £67,127.35. Now Porsche valued the car for me at that point in time at £44,650, but that again was on trade-in. We Buy Any Car at that point in time gave me a price of £44,135, so £44,135 from We Buy Any Car. Bear in mind, again, I won't keep saying this, you never get that off We Buy Any Car. They always come up with some kind of excuse and give you less. Then I went to Motorway, who gave me a price of £41,209. £41,209. That's nuts. Not as nuts as the ones that I'm going to get to in a minute. Now I also had a valuation off of CarWow. I like their YouTube channel, so I went to them and thought I'll give them a go. And they gave me a quotation of £42,372. £42,372 from CarWow. And then I decided to go to a place called Flip It, and blimey, Flip It, they can flip it. They gave me a cost of, wait for this, are you sitting down for this one, £28,360. This is in March 2024. Now, last month I did a video and it went viral basically. It's almost had 1 million views on this video. And at that point in time, in April 2024, I owed an outstanding balance on the car of £64,664.15. Now, I went to Porsche and I asked them to give me a valuation on it, but they weren't accepting any Taycans at that moment in time in April 2024. That was £41,500 roughly as a price. Then I went to We Buy Any Car again, and they gave me a cost, this is in April 2024, of £40,615. £40,615. Blimey, that's nuts. That's a loss of, crikey, that's a loss of over, that's £4,000 loss, isn't it? In a month. Motorway gave me a cost in April 2024 of £39,893. £39,893. And then I went to Car Wow again, as I say, like their YouTube channel. £41,616. £41,616. And then I went to Flip It again. Are you waiting for this one? April 2024, Flip It offered me £26,690. Right, so there we have it. Now, I thought, do you know what? It's only a month later, but let's do a little bit of research, shall we? And see what it's actually lost now. So, as of today, May 2024, we are at an outstanding balance on the car of £63,432.55. So that's what my finance is at the moment, £63,432.55. Porsche, I didn't go to Leeds, I didn't go to Nottingham, and I didn't go to South Lakes. I went to a separate one, which is a mate of mine down south, and I'm not going to mention him because, as I say, I don't want him to get in trouble. He's worked for them for many years. So, Porsche offered me £35,000, but I'm not buying them. But, however, they will accept it, which is interesting. Wait for this. They would accept this car in part exchange against another EV. So the only way I could get rid of this car is to hand it back to them, and they would accept it against another EV. Not against a 911, not against a petrol car, but against another EV, they would accept it. So the only way that I can get rid of this car through Porsche is with buying another EV. Anyway, I went to We Buy Any Car, and May 2024, they offered me £30,735. £30,735. And then I went to Motorway again, and they offered me £36,389. And then I went back to Car Wow again, and they offered me May 2024, Car Wow, £38,106. It's the it's depreciating faster than it can actually accelerate. And then I went back to Flip It again. I don't know why, because there must be, I don't know where they get their figures from. Flip It offered me £23,280. Now, a replacement battery for this car is £45,000 for a replacement battery for this car. So if I had an accident in this car and it was a write-off, then I'd basically have to scrap this car. It would be the only way that I'd get anything for it. And as of today, scrap value for the car would be £383. So maybe let this be a lesson to you, because even though Quentin Wilson said that I'm a nut job on YouTube, and of course I'm going to lose money because it's a sports car, basically a Porsche car or whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever car, electric car you're going to get, it is going to devalue faster than an equivalent or petrol car. So just let it be a lesson. Just let it be a lesson, because remember this, motor dealers have to sell 1 in 5 cars have to be electric. They have to meet a target, basically a percentage target, to sell electric cars, even though they don't particularly want to. And I got that from the horse's mouth. So there we go. Thank you for watching. Do share this across social media. Let's try and educate other people who are maybe looking at an electric car to look back at a petrol car, so they don't lose money and they're not left in a massive negative equity. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.